Hi students, welcome to Alphos e-learning chemistry classes for second year. The running chapter is organic chemistry and now we are in session number 59. In previous sessions we discussed about the nucleophilic additions of carbonyl compounds with different reagents and in presence of acid catalyst and in presence of base catalyst. All these we discussed. And nucleophilic additions are nothing but the characteristic reactions of the carbonyl compounds. Clear? And we discussed about the mechanism and in which conditions, what are the products, how to assume that, and what are the ketones that can react with a given specific reagent, and how to generate the products, required products, by observing different catalysts. All these we discussed in previous session. And now coming to the next type of reactions, that is nothing but carbonyl compounds sometimes will undergo nucleophilic addition, but immediately in certain conditions they tend to go for elimination. That is nothing but the reactions are said to be nucleophilic additions followed by eliminations. And this type of reactions generally we can expect from ammonia when reacts with carbonyl compounds and ammonia derivatives also. And in the beginning of the carbonyl compound preparation properties, I think properties already I provided all the reagents which are related to different kinds of reactions, that is nothing but nucleophilic additions and then nucleophilic addition followed by elimination. Here the elimination is nothing but simple molecules like water or ammonia or HCl. In general, here in carbonyl compounds it is only the water molecule that will follow the after nucleophilic addition. Clear? And here let me make a recall of all the reagents which tend to go for elimination after nucleophilic addition. What are the reagents that can involve in such type of reactions? Let me list out again for your convenience sake. Here actually they are nucleophilic additions, nucleophilic addition followed by elimination. Here just you remember, elimination is nothing but water molecule. Again I am repeating, elimination is nothing but water molecule. With it is nothing but the reaction is with ammonia NH3 and ammonia derivatives, it is NH2Z. In general we can represent like this, NH2Z. And here this Z may be like this, it is nothing but let me give the list of these Z, NH2OH it may be, or it may be NH2NH2, that is hydrazine, already it is listed out. And just here we are having a briefing of these reagents which tend to go for such type of reaction. Clear? And now it is phenylhydrazine, that is one of the hydrogen from NH2 group is replaced by phenyl group, and then it is nothing but 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazine, that is here the phenyl is also having nitro groups at 2 and 4 positions, and then it is nothing but this hydrogen is replaced by some amide group, then it is nothing but carbazine. So these are different reagents that tend to go for nucleophilic addition followed by elimination. And general, here in general where we can expect such type of elimination. Dear students, you remember when the attacking atom of the reagent after addition if still has the lone pair of electron, then we can expect some sort of elimination. Not always, just you remember, in certain conditions, but the prime condition required is that the attacking nucleophile atom should possess lone pair after addition. Here just let me give the general equation for this type of nucleophilic addition. It is generally represented like this, it is carbonyl and H2NZ. Here these two hydrogens will go with this oxygen and thereby it is giving C double bond NZ. Just you remember, this type of double bond is known as imine, and actually NH like this when the 2 valency is separately present, it is secondary amine. But when the 2 valency is bonded with the same carbon, then it is known as imine group. Imine group. Here imine compounds are formed. And how they are formed? Just let me give the mechanism that is involved in this formation. Here it is of taking place in 3 steps. In step 1, first of all, the carbonyl group is attacked by H plus, that is acid. And here one more thing, let me give, all these are, that is ammonia and ammonia derivatives are weak nucleophiles. As they are weak bases, they are weak nucleophiles. To make them, that is nothing but being the weak bases and weak nucleophiles, to make them strong, acidic condition is required. In presence of acid, the nucleophilicity will increase. Clear? And hence acid. That too, here you remember only weak acid condition. pH is approximately, it is 3.5. Strong acidic condition and basic condition, these two are not useful. Again I am repeating, strong acidic condition and basic solution alkaline condition, these are not useful for creating such type of nucleophilic addition followed by elimination. Why they are not useful? Okay, after completion of this mechanism, just this mechanism, we will go for discussion about that. Why in presence of strong acids this type of reaction is not taking place, and in case of basic solution why it is not taking place, all these we will make a discussion. Clear? And now first in step 1, this proton from the acid will attack on this carbonyl oxygen, where it is giving protonated carbonyl like this. And here when it is slightly shifted towards this and it is creating partial positive charge on this carbon. And in step 2, this ammonia derivative will attack the positively charged carbonyl carbon with its lone pair. Here it is NH2Z. Because of lone pair, it is behaving like nucleophile and it attacks on this. The complete shifting of this bond will take place, and now we are having this NH, H, Z, and here it is OH, and it is now with positive charge. And this intermediary product formed after elimination of H plus. Why H plus? Because already nitrogen is having positive charge, and thereby to neutralize that positive charge, H plus will go out, and after H plus it is forming a compound like this, NH, Z, OH, but still it is having lone pair. Now this lone pair will be contributed for double bond purpose, and in due course this hydrogen and this OH will eliminate it, and it is now giving this type of product. This is nothing but the stable product that can form. So in this manner, first it is attacked by the proton from acid, facilitating the nucleophilic addition on the substrate. Clear? And then after attack, this intermediary product formed will undergo deprotonation and dehydration. This is deprotonation. After deprotonation, you can observe that it is still having a lone pair of electron, which can be contributed for forming the double bond. And immediately this OH will go out, and along with this OH, H plus will go in the form of water, and it is giving the stable substituted product. But during this substitution, that is nothing but during this addition, this elimination, addition followed by elimination, these two ultimately giving the imine derivatives. Clear? This is happening in case of nucleophilic addition followed by elimination. Clear? And now let us discuss why it is not, why it required only weakly acidic condition, why not the strong acid conditions, or why it is not facilitated by basic solution. For all this purpose, we have to discuss about the conditions required. Is this ammonia derivative, actually they are bases. Being bases, automatically we can imagine some sort of salt formation with acid, is it not? And when it is of having the tendency to form acid, with salt with acid, automatically in such a condition, strong acids when present, these bases will immediately form the salt, and after formation of the salt, it is not at all possible to behave like base or nucleophile, and thereby in presence of strong acid, just you remember, in presence of strong acid, these ammonia derivatives being forming the salts are unable to behave like nucleophile, and immediately they are unable to undergo the nucleophilic addition followed by elimination. And now in case if it is basic solution, then what happens? In case of basic solution, already we know these are the bases, and in basic solution, when the weak nucleophile is not accelerated, that is nothing but activated, that means when it is basic solution, carbonyl oxygen is not getting any protonation. When carbonyl oxygen is not getting protonation, it is not possible to create any substitution, that too nucleophilic substitution. And that's why in strong acid, just I am repeating again, in strong acid, as these bases are able to form salts, the reaction is not going further. And in case of strong bases, as there is no proton to attack on carbonyl oxygen, the reaction is not supposed to happen. Clear with all this? And now let me give the products that are formed in each and every one. What are the products and how to give the names for such type of products when they are reacting with different substrates like aldehydes and ketones. For that purpose, first let me give the reaction with ammonia. When it is, first one is with ammonia, NH3. Aldehyde, let me consider this C double bond O H. This H2NH, this is forming this type of imine, C double bond NH. This is nothing but imine compound. And when these imines are alkylated imines, that is nothing but, say for example, ketones, when they react like this, NH, these are alkylated imines, means these are double bond NH. These are known as Schiff's bases, you remember, Schiff's bases. That is when there is no hydrogen on imine carbon. Both the two valency of carbon is bonded with the alkyl group. They are known as Schiff's bases. Actually, this test is used to distinguish between aldehydes and ketones. Just remember. And now, in case if this reaction is with hydroxylamine, that is NH2NOH, simply you can write, I think, this oxygen along with this H2, when go out, it is forming the product like this, NOH. When it is aldehyde, it is known as, the product is known as aldoxime. These are nothing but oximes, or C double bond NOH is nothing but oxime, and here when it is from aldehyde, it is aldoxime. And now simply you can consider when it is from ketone like this, H2NOH, and this oxygen is going along with this hydrogen, and it is now giving RC double bond NOH R. It is also oxime, but it is formed from ketone, and hence it is known as ketoxime. It is known as ketoxime. Just like that, when it is reacting with ammonia, they are forming imines. Imines are nothing but N double bonded with carbon. They are known as imines. And when ketones, when reacting with ammonia forming imine, it is known as Schiff's base. They are known as alkylated imine. That alkylated imines are considered as Schiff's bases, and they are useful. Generally, that reaction Schiff's bases are useful in distinguishing the aldehydes and ketones. Clear? And now it is aldoxime. In aldoxime, when aldehydes when react with a hydroxylamine, they are forming aldoxymes. Ketones when react with a hydroxylamine, they are forming ketoxymes. But altogether with hydroxylamine, the products formed are known as oximes. Depending on the substrate, it may be aldehyde, it may be ketone, hence it is. And just now here, let me give some explanation related to this, that is nothing but isomerism. Actually, because of having this C double bond N and H, here it is OH and it is having H. On the other side, nitrogen is having a lone pair. And you remember, when this OH and H, these two are in opposite, it is in anti form. And if they are on the same side, C double bond N, lone pair is like this, and hydrogen and OH is present on this, it is syn form. So it is anti-aldoxime and it is known as syn-aldoxime. When the OH and H, both these two are present on the same side, it is syn-aldoxime. When they are present on opposite side, they are known as anti-aldoxymes. And in case of ketones, symmetric ketones, say for example, both these two alkyl groups are same like this, C, N, OH, and here lone pair, and it is CH3. Then in this case, there is no optical isomerism here, that is geometrical isomerism. It is nothing but geometrical isomerism. And in case of symmetrical ketones, it is not possible to exhibit any geometrical isomerism, because both these two are on either side, that is OH when present methyl side or when it is present on the other side, it makes no difference. But unlike this, if it is of having different alkyl groups, then we have to consider this OH and CH3. When if these two are in the same side, this condition is known as syn condition, and this condition is nothing but anti condition. So now this compound will be given the names in two different manner. Already we discussed it in geometrical isomerism, and again for your convenience sake, let me give. It is nothing but syn methyl ethyl. Syn methyl ethyl. Syn methyl means already this methyl group is present in syn condition. Automatically the next one is in anti condition. Syn methyl ethyl ketoxime it is. Or otherwise, in case if you would like to give this name first, then you have to give anti ethyl methyl ketoxime. In like this, you can give the name either in syn condition alkyl group or with referring the anti condition alkyl group. That is the importance of these oximes. And this Schiff's base is the important in distinguishing the aldehydes from ketones. And now let me give the other compounds, that is nothing but hydroxylamine. All these, let me give only the names. You can write the names of the other compounds when it is aldehyde or whether it is of ketone. Just you have to consider those names only. And once it is hydrazine, how the name will be ended when the product is formed. From hydrazine, the product formed is nothing but hydrazone. Like that, how to give the names, just let me give here, let me list out here, and in the coming session we will go for the mechanism, how they are happening, all these, and what are different products with examples. Will illustrative examples I will explain. And here for your convenience sake, meanwhile you have to consider the names of the compounds. With NH2, when the product is formed like this, O plus H2 N, NH2, when these two are going, the product is like this, NH2. This is known as hydrazone. It is hydrazine. And now, in a similar manner, if it is reacting with phenylhydrazine like this, it is phenylhydrazine, you know, and the product formed here will be NH phenyl group, just that again hydrazine is converted to phenylhydrazone. And similarly, in case if it is this double bonded H2N NH nitrophenylhydrazine, nothing but with Brody's reagent, when this oxygen and hydrogen are going out, it is giving 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazone. The same name, just I think with this one, with the sequence you can easily remember the names. It is, the compound is 2,4-dinitrophenylhydrazone. That is hydrazines now converted to hydrazones. And the last one, it is nothing but this C double bond O when treated with carbazine. Carbazine is like this, and when this oxygen and hydrogens are going out, it is giving C double bond NH C double bond O NH2. Just again I am making you to understand, don't get any confusion. This amide NH2 is not involved in elimination, only this hydrazine nitro NH2 is involved. Just you have to observe the difference. They are making you to confuse when they are asking the question related to this. They are particularly which of the following is the final product. Sometimes they may involve this NH2, and just you remember when it is nothing but semi-carbazide. Actually it is nothing but semi-carbazone. That semi-carbazone is now giving carbazide. Carbazide is the final product. So depending on the aldehyde, it is aldehyde semi-carbazide, ketone semi-carbazide, and in case it is phenylhydrazine, aldehyde phenylhydrazone, ketone phenylhydrazone, like that. Just the name is gyne is ended with a zone, like that. For all these you have to give the names. Clear? In coming session, how these are happening, what is the mechanism, already general mechanism is given, but for each and every reagents how it is happening, and with different substrates, with different illustrative examples, how the products are formed, what to give the names for that such type of compounds. All these we will discuss in the coming session. Clear? Thank you.